Several individuals who made statements that sparked provocative debates on religious and racial issues were charged at separate courts in various locations today. This included Zamri Vinoth and Arun. Meanwhile, Victor Chin has questioned why his house was raided despite his full cooperation with police investigations. Stay tuned for this and more on KiniNews. Independent preacher Zamri Vinoth has pleaded not guilty and claimed trial to a charge of public mischief.
Independent preacher Zamri Vinoth claimed trial to a charge under Section 505(b) of the Penal Code, which criminalises statements made with the intent to cause or which may cause disturbance to the public. Those convicted can be liable to imprisonment for up to 2 years, a fine, or both. He was accused of committing the offence via a Facebook post on February 3rd regarding a gathering involving illegal temples. According to the Malay Mail, Zamri had allegedly uploaded the post under a Facebook account named Zamri Vinoth, after which it was seen by a complainant in Kuala Lumpur. During the proceedings today, Deputy Public Prosecutors requested bail to be set at 10,000 ringgit. They noted that investigations had been active for over a month since the initial police reports, while also referencing Zamri's recent travel to Thailand. However, Zamri's lawyer denied allegations that his client had attempted to flee the country after the post went viral, arguing that the travel was purely for business and personal matters. The lawyer also submitted documents to show Zamri's involvement in handling cross-border marriage agreements, which are said to be in coordination with Islamic authorities in Perlis and Thailand. Magistrate Faizah Noor Hassan then set bail at 4,500 ringgit in one surety and fixed April 29 for the next case mentioned and the submission of documents.
Meanwhile, a deputy minister has clarified that he only met Arun briefly near the court complex in Penang this morning. This came following criticism over the matter.
Concerns have been raised over the presence of a deputy minister alongside Temple Preservation Action Team chairperson Arun as the latter faced court charges today. Images and news reports showed deputy minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform M. Kulasegaran standing with the activists at the Jawi Magistrates Court in Penang. The photos were believed to have been taken before Arun pleaded not guilty over a charge under Section 505(b) of the Penal Code, which criminalises statements made with the intent to cause or which may cause disturbance to the public. UMNO Youth Chief Dr. Akmal Saleh pressed the police to address why Arun was not handcuffed when independent Islamic preacher Zamri Vinoth, who was charged with a similar offence at the Kuala Lumpur Magistrates Court today, was restrained. In a post on Facebook, he asked if the SOP was different because Arun was accompanied by a deputy minister. Meanwhile, Johor PKR Youth Chief Faizuddin Puat urged the deputy minister to explain. He said they did not want this to give the wrong impression to the people, as if the government is siding with Arun or attempting to show political support for him. Zamri's lawyer had also questioned the difference in treatment.
Dan kita persoalkan kenapa anak guam kami boleh dibawa dalam keadaan bergari, dikawal rapat pihak polis kiri, kanan, belakang dan depan sehingga dibawa ke mahkamah, namun pihak Arun Dorasami diiringi oleh timbalan Menteri Undang-Undang seolah-olah menzahirkan si Arun Dorasami ini mendapat perlindungan, menzahirkan mendapat sokongan daripada pihak timbalan Menteri Undang-Undang. Anak guam kami hadir dengan bergari. Itu perkara yang anak guam kami kesali kepada pihak penguatkuasa atas double standard yang telah berlaku kepada anak guam kami.
From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Victor Chin has questioned why authorities raided his home. He stressed that he has fully cooperated with the authorities and had already given his statement to investigators.
Businessperson Victor Chin has urged police to explain the reasons behind the raid on his residence and several related premises. In a statement, Chin said he had fully cooperated with investigators, noting that he returned to Kuala Lumpur on December 29, 2025, at the request and direction of the police to address allegations on the so-called corporate mafia. He said he provided a statement to the authorities and clearly explained his role and position in the matter. He added that he was also remanded by AMLA, Bukit Aman's Anti-Money Laundering Special Task Force for 3 days. He stressed the authorities were aware of his whereabouts and could contact him at any time, and questioned why it was necessary to conduct a raid on his home. Chin also questioned which authority might act next and how many more agencies will be drawn into the matter. Last Friday, the police and the Securities Commission raided Chin's properties at Sungai Long and Kemensa. Starbis reported that items seized include 2 cars, luxury watches, jewelry, cash in ringgit, and foreign currencies, as well as documents. The report, citing sources, said Chin and his wife were not present during the raids, but 3 of his aides were. The raid came days after the cabinet instructed the police, SC, Inland Revenue Board, and MACC to investigate the corporate mafia allegations. Chin has denied being part of the network or colluding with the MACC.
Teo Beng Hok's sister has urged the United Nations Human Rights Council to press Malaysia for an independent probe into the ex-political aide's death. Here's more on that.
Teo Lee Lan has urged the United Nations Human Rights Council to hold Malaysia accountable over deaths in custody, including the case of her brother Teo Beng Hok. Speaking in Geneva, Switzerland, Lee Lan told delegates that 17 years after Beng Hok died in MACC custody, no one has been held accountable despite the Court of Appeal ruling in 2014 that his death was caused by unlawful acts by unknown persons. She added that her brother's case was not an isolated incident.
My brother's case is not isolated. Torture and death in custody remain serious concern in Malaysia. Hundreds had died in custody in Malaysia over the past decade, creating a dangerous pattern of impunity. I urge Malaysia to reopen my brother's case through an independent criminal investigation in accordance with international standards. I also urge Malaysia to accept the 9 outstanding country visits requests by special procedures mandates, especially the mandates on extrajudicial executions. I call on this council and the member states to raise deaths in custody, including this case, in your engagement with Malaysia. I have traveled thousands of miles to bring this justice, to bring this demand for justice before you. I ask you to press for accountability.
If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe.
11 people are suing the Malaysian government and police over preemptive arrests before a rally.
11 individuals have filed a lawsuit over their arrests before a February 7th rally in Kuala Lumpur linked with the anti-illegal houses of worship movement. They claim the police crackdown was unlawful and violated their constitutional rights. In a statement of claim filed at the Kuala Lumpur High Court yesterday, the group, including activists and members of the public, named 7 defendants. That includes the government, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, and Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail. Also named are Inspector General of Police Khalid Ismail, Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Fadil Marsus, Dang Wangi Police Chief Sazali Adam, and other officers. The plaintiffs asserted that their arrests were carried out in bad faith, with several contending they were detained near the Sogo shopping complex before the assembly had officially commenced. They also argued that the police failed to provide immediate grounds for arrest in direct violation of Article 5(3) of the Federal Constitution. The plaintiffs also referenced Anwar's statement on the day of the incident, in which the Prime Minister issued a stern warning that maximum action, including arrests, will be carried out against anyone trying to disrupt the peace while the nation is hosting foreign guests. The group is asking for written apologies from each plaintiff as well as a court declaration that the arrests were unconstitutional and invalid. They are also seeking general, aggravated, and exemplary damages. The plaintiffs contended that the Premier's remarks led to misfeasance of public office, where enforcement officers bypassed standard legal procedures to satisfy an executive mandate.
PKR Youth is urging employers to adopt targeted work-from-home policies. This comes amidst the conflict in the Middle East.
PKR Youth has called on employers to adopt targeting work-from-home policies for jobs that do not require a consistent physical presence. Its chief, Kamil Abdul Munim, said employers should also prioritize workers' welfare by offering flexibility to help them manage the rising cost of living in urban areas. In a statement, he stressed that Malaysia's ability to remain competitive amid geopolitical tensions in West Asia depends on its readiness to innovate in work culture while maintaining strong fiscal discipline. He added that experience from the COVID-19 recovery phase has shown that flexible work arrangements are not an obstacle but instead a driver of productivity. According to him, such arrangements can improve work-life balance while reducing companies' operating expenditure and easing the public's daily financial burden, particularly on fuel and transportation costs. He also noted that with global oil prices remaining volatile, work from home serves as a strategic tool to ease pressure on the country's fuel subsidies. Citing international examples, he said several countries have already encouraged remote work and urged Malaysia's private sector to follow suit. Putrajaya is expected to announce a decision on work-from-home arrangements for civil servants today. Last week, the Malaysian Employers Federation said any such policy for the private sector should not adopt a one-size-fits-all approach, but instead be tailored by sector.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.